Let's talk about the man up top, Santiago Gimenez, who got the start in this one, but did not score, and as you saw, missed that penalty. Is the pressure of the starting role affecting Santiago Gimenez's performances with the national team?
No, I don't think it has anything to do with the pressure. Listen, he missed a penalty kick, a second straight penalty kick for him on turf. Both penalty kicks he takes are on turf. It's not an excuse. Maybe he's just not good at penalty kicks. But it's got nothing to do with the pressure and more to do with the inability of Mexico in their system to provide quality touches and looks for their starting nine. Listen, he touched the ball, I'm looking at it right now, 28 times. Memo Ochoa touched the ball 54 times. I'm not a mathematician, but if you give your starting nine, more quality looks in the opposition's box, he may shine. Just a thought. Try it out, Mexico. Just a thought. So is the pressure getting to Santi Gimenez? No. Is there that much of a pressure playing these moleros in Dallas with all these great fans behind you, as it is playing in the Eredivisie, as it is playing in the Europa League, as it is being in the hurricane, the eye of the hurricane in European football? No, by no means. This is more an indictment of the system of play and the lack of opportunities for anybody, be it Raul Jimenez, Santi Gimenez, Henry Martin, or whoever the case may be in that 9 position.
I agree with you. It's been a while since we've seen an active, engaged number 9 with Mexico, and there's definitely a problem there. I do think, Herc, though, that the pressure is somewhat getting to Santiago Gimenez, because we see a different player when we see him playing in Europe than when we see him with the Mexican national team. And here's the reality for Santiago Gimenez. It's been proven already that whatever he does in Europe is not going to get him the spot that he wants on the Mexican national team. At the last World Cup, he did everything you could possibly do for a Mexican in the European theater, and he was still left at home. And here he's doing, again, everything that he can, and there is still, Herc, a question about who should be the starting forward for this Mexican national team. Henry Martin didn't play. His stock went up just by Santiago Gimenez missing that penalty kick. And then on top of that, Raul Jimenez, who didn't play a lot, but converts his penalty kick, now his stock, and of course he's still a starting striker right now in the Premier League with Fulham, also goes up. I think in the minds of fans, certainly in the minds of media, because it was the prime topic of discussion in the aftermath of this game, and I think very much even in the mind of the manager, there is, just like you say with the U.S., not a big gap between Balogun and everybody else. To me, there is a big gap between Santiago Gimenez and the rest of the 9s in the pool for Mexico. I don't think that's the case for Jimmy Lozano, and I think Santiago Gimenez knows that, and he knows, her, that the only ticket to locking down the number 1 job for Mexico as a striker is to do it for the national team. Whatever he does with Feyenoord, whatever transfer he gets, whatever he does in the next league is not going to do it. And I think because of that, he is putting some extra pressure on himself, and we're seeing that in these performances.
So it applies to Santiago Gimenez on the Mexican national team, but it does not apply to Fowler and Balogun on the U.S. men's national team, is what you're telling me.
Yeah, I think there's a much different competition for Santiago Gimenez. Absolutely. Absolutely. Balogun has the number 1 job. I know you say it's not locked down, but I think in the eyes of many, he is the de facto starter and was basically when he walked into the program.
Santi Gimenez is de facto starter.
But not in the people that matter, Herc. If you listen to the post-game show, everybody's talking about Henry Martin, Raul Jimenez goal. For whatever reason, Santiago Gimenez is not as valued inside of Mexico as he seemingly is in Europe.
Okay. The post-game show of the network that a lot of their players like Henry Martin play for. That's what
you're acting as if Henry Martin doesn't get starts for the national team. You're acting like Santiago Gimenez was called in for the last World Cup.
He doesn't. He just recently started playing for the national team. There's not a body of work there like with Raul Jimenez. And Raul Jimenez, by the way, may have scored, but again, there's another knock on Raul Jimenez. It was a penalty kick. Again, people don't believe in Raul Jimenez. And I agree with you. He's a starting number 9 in the Premier League. And the Premier League is much deeper, much stronger than the Eredivisie in the Netherlands. And yet, people have their doubts. I don't think it's like you're saying with Santi Gimenez.
I got my big doubts about Raul.
Okay.
You can talk to me all you want about penalties. When was the last goal from open play he scored?
Well, that's what I'm trying. You're playing into exactly what I'm trying to tell you. Now, tell me who scored the biggest goal of the forwards on the Mexican national team since the World Cup started, since the World Cup ended, excuse me.
Yeah, there's only one big goal. It's in the Gold Cup final. It's Santiago Gimenez.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. But I still don't think that has made him the lockdown number 1 starter. Give me your ranking then. Give me your ranking of the 3 Mexican 9s.
Santi, Henry, and then I think there's a discussion to be made of what happens once Quiñones comes into that mix. Excuse me.
All right. So you got Santi ahead of Henry. Yeah,
Yes.
We agree on something for once.
Well, thank you very much for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming, premium content, and let's not forget as well, ESPN FC 7 days a week. Subscribe to ESPN Plus.